Hey guys, I'm Julius, and you're watching the Music Enthusiast.
Hi, what's up? I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Julius. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me, Sarah.
No problem. It's so fun to talk to you. I'd like to jump in right into your new track, Palm Angels. So, how are you feeling about releasing that? It's not released yet, but it will be soon.
It's crazy. I wrote that song because I was looking at the lyrics the other day, just kind of like going over them. Like I do that sometimes, and I realized I wrote that song April 19th, like 2019.
Oh
So
my God.
like I've been like sitting on that song and kind of like been waiting to like share it with the world for a long time now, and it's weird just because I think as an artist, like uh, you kind of know when you do something like cool. Like you have this feeling like sometimes you'll be making something and be like, it's cool, like it's whatever, but you're just doing it because for the sake of like expressing yourself. Or but then sometimes you'll make something and be like, yo, how did that happen? That was crazy. And with my producer Marinelli, that's just what it was. Like the entire time we were kind of just questioning ourselves, like what the hell are we doing? And the more that we just kind of didn't understand, I think the more we were like, yo, this is sick. Like,
Totally. And I mean, it's such a good tune. And I know you and Marinelli have worked together before for Take Me to the Moon. So, what's it like
yeah,
working with him? Because I know you two are like super close friends as well.
I hate him. I'm just kidding. Um, no, David's such a great human being. It's crazy because we met each other um, at such like a strange time in our lives. We were both like going through a lot of personal things. And I think not only meeting someone to like create with and be able to, get everything that was like trapped inside our heads out, but like we became like best friends, like brothers. Like it was almost just like we could confide in each other as well as create with each other. Um, which like I will always value that. That's just it's we made an entire project together, based off the experiences we were going through. And I think like every day that we were working on it was just like a step closer to kind of figuring out who we were. I mean, we still have no idea. I still have no idea. David might have it figured out, but um, I owe that kid a lot. Just, I mean, for the music, but also just like helping me grow as a person. He's just such a great human being.
Amazing. And that's so special. And I know you use like writing music as like a safe space to like get all your thoughts out of your mind. So is he the same way? Is
Yeah.
that why you two work so good together?
Yeah, I gotta assume that we're both just pretty crazy, and like the only way we kind of, feel all right, or like, I mean, maybe I'm just speaking for myself now, but just like it's the only thing that kind of makes me feel okay. It doesn't matter if something is going really well in my life or just absolutely terrible. It's just music is it's just cathartic. It makes everything all right, even if it's not all right, if that makes any sense. And I think what I realized with this project especially was like that is the craziest part about music is I wrote about my experiences. David was feeling his own experiences, and yet what we were able to create, and I have people reaching out and just saying like, this made me feel this type of way, or this helped me through this. It's just like almost selfishly, I was doing it for myself. I was really just trying to make this music to make sure I was okay in a really bad time. And to see that it can resonate and make other people feel the same way is just like uh, incredible, I think is the right word. It's just really like, it makes me feel like maybe for like the first time in my life, like I'm doing the right thing. Um, because I don't know. It just feels like the music I'm making is just me. I'm not really trying to do anything or be anyone. I just write about what I'm going through and how I feel. And for people to accept that as well kind of makes me think like maybe I can, be accepted, for being myself. And I think that's a really hard thing for everyone is just trying to, like not only understand who we are, what drives us, what makes us happy, but like having people like love us and appreciate us for that.
Are you the type of person to like have a notebook with you all the time, or are you sort of like a notes app person? If that makes sense.
So it's so weird. I was talking to my friend about this the other day. I have never written like handwritten lyrics. Maybe like in class or something like that when I was in like high school or college, but like I always write on my computer. Um, I think it's because I'm like constantly changing and like it's just the easiest way and it's clean. Otherwise, it'd be just tons of scribbles and
Yeah.
it's yeah. It's actually it's so weird. I feel like shouldn't even be admitting this, but my friend the other day was reading some of my lyrics and he was like, "How come every time you write the word the, it's THA, not THE?" Like he thought it was like a typo, like that or something first. And I was like, "Holy shit, I really do that." And I realized when I was like 14 or 15 when I started writing music, I also like to write poetry. And I would read a lot of like Tupac poems. He had like there's this entire book of Tupac poems and like his handwriting. And I think I thought I was cool. Like I'm not sure what it was, but Tupac would write THA. And then I started writing it. But now I like still do it like years later. And it's just like I was just like, it's either like I don't know, it's either so sick, and then I was like, I don't think I think I should just write the regularly. I'm not Tupac.
Well, I mean, it's so cool. It's like a unique thing going on. So, like you said
Yeah.
before, um, poetry was like a big thing for you. So, did you want to be a poet as at first, or was it always a musician that you wanted to be?
It's kind of crazy. Like I hate writing, but like I love to write like I hated like school writing and stuff like that, like but then if there were things I wanted to write about or if there are things that, made me in like I love it. Like that was where I realized I was an English major in college. Like I think I realized like there's a huge difference. Like no one ever told me, make music, write music. It was just like go get good grades, do well at sports, be kind to people. Like those are the things I was focused on. No one was just like, hey, go write music.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that like I decided to like write music myself and it's like my thing um, is kind of the difference between like poetry too. When I write poetry, it's the same way. It's just like I think I'm like stubborn too. It's like if someone tells me to do something, I'm like, no. And then,
Same.
I just have to do it on my own. It's all right, but um, no, I don't. I'm trying to think. Like I always knew, like I wanted to do music. In some sense. I don't think until I was like 14 or 15 I even tried it. Like I always would, sing and along with like the radio or things like that. And I actually like I kind of just like I kind of taught myself how to sing by just listening to like Channel Orange, just like singing along and Frank Ocean's so many different like tones and like his falsetto and just like belting that in my car. It was like, all right, let's do this. It's not that hard. So
Well, I mean, Frank Ocean is an icon, and so are you. So there you go.
thank you. I'll take that. Let's go.
Do you have a fondest musical memory?
Huh. Yeah, yeah, I do. I do. See, like I wanted because I toured with my best friend. His name is Wes Walker. He made a song called Jordan Belfort, and I toured with Wes for like 2, 3 years, which was sick. We had the best time. We were doing tons of shows all over the country, like college shows, international shows. Like touring is so much fun. Um, and I think like I wanted to say like we one time we opened up for like Ray Shremmer, like I think it was like 20,000 people or something. It was sick. It
Oh
was
my
just and like so many people. And like, I want to say that's my fondest memory because it's like, you know, so far that's been such a crazy experience. But when I think about it, like that was, I was making and singing such different music, kind of before I really grew up and before I had ever worked with like instrumentalists or people who not to say like other people don't make real music, but this was like a different kind of music. Like you know, and learning music theory, I've taught myself piano and guitar. Like this was really kind of, I think, you know, like me understanding myself and what it means to be myself and that I am an artist. So what I realized was I played one show before the pandemic, and that's I actually got to perform Palm Angels at this show with David. It was just David and myself on stage. Way different than thousands of, you know, drunk frat sorority kids in the stands, but like it had this like personal, like intimate, like I could when I like I could see people crying, like I could
Yeah.
see, you know, like, and that was my fondest memory. Like I realized, like I said earlier, I realized I'm doing the right thing. Like seeing, you know, like grown people, just like they never met me, they didn't know who I was, they were just there listening to me, and I was able to do something like that. And even the people who were really, you know, used to my music, and then I kind of, you know, started really just doing my own thing and what I'm doing now, seeing their reaction too. Like I was making everyone cry. I love making people cry.
I love it. And that connects to you being vulnerable again, because like it touches people's feelings. So have you ever gotten like a message being like, hey, your song really helped me out? Has that happened yet?
Yeah, 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 and that shit is crazy. I'm just like, yo, I like, because like I said, like it's very, the process for me is very selfish. Like if I were to sit here and like try and make a song to make someone else feel better, I'm sure I could do it, but I'm not sure. Like you said, like I think the beauty in what I'm doing and what I'm trying to get across is that like it's okay to just like to not be okay. It's okay to just like show that you're hurting. And I think like a lot of the times there's like, especially around like, I mean, around anyone, there's this like stigma that like vulnerability is weakness. And it's just not true. Because like I think the strongest people I know are the most vulnerable and are able to express themselves and are able to make like get better. You can't grow, you can't become a stronger person if you keep it all bottled in. And I hope like through my music, like other people realize like I'm okay, I'm not the only person going through this. Like that we're not alone, you know, that like as much as it feels like we're going through all of this together, that we're not alone. And so like to answer your question, like yeah, I receive tons of messages. I mean, I write really sad music, so like people, like I don't think people are like, you know, getting hype and like no more like Jordan Belfort like taking shots to, you know, like which is like there's that's the beauty of music though, is that like you can make people feel any type of way, like any type of way. I can make someone feel happy, sad, angry, like energetic, like but yeah, I think since I do make sad music, it probably has more of an effect on people in a way that it just what I hope it just opens people's eyes a little bit. You know, it's just like being a little more conscious of how we're feeling and why we're feeling that way. I think is really important. It's really important for our mental health, you know, and it's really important. It's just I think it's I don't know. It's like almost sad to me because I didn't have it for so long. I didn't realize like that this was the reason, you know, for doing all of this. But the more I open myself up, like the more people open themselves up to me. And I think that is why I'm so appreciative of everything going on. I'm so grateful and lucky to have this outlet that I have that's able to like not only help me, but somehow help other people too.
Yeah, totally. And it's also because like you're not putting yourself into a character of writing your songs. It's you're actually writing about your own experiences. That's so
Yeah,
great.
and even if they're bad, even like See, like I think a lot of us like we want to play it cool all the time. Like bad shit doesn't happen to us, or like that everything is perfect in our lives, and like nothing is perfect in our lives, you know, like this idea that we're like, especially through like social media and stuff, is like that everything's all right. It's like nobody has it all figured out, you know, and like a lot of music definitely portrays like this fantasy, which I think is great because people need that escape. But I think people also need that like return to reality, and like that like they need to look within themselves. And if you know, my music or my words can help in any way, I think that's it's beautiful.
Totally. And right back to the track. I mean, it's so great. And especially the last like 10, 15 seconds of the song is so cool. I wasn't expecting it at all. I just made the song so much better. So when did that idea come in and what was making that like?
The whole, you know, process was great. So I would just like write a song in my head with like the melodies and everything, but no production for this project. And then I would go to David and basically just sing a cappella, and we would just start making weird sounds behind it. And this one was a little bit like more upbeat than the rest of the songs I put out. And um, I just at the end, I was just like, yo, let's do something crazy, like really crazy, like just like throw everyone off. And we did that, and then I was like, here, just give me the mic. I want to say something. And I just like said what was on the top of my mind, which was just like, no, don't be sorry, be happy, which was that's what was on my mind. Um, which is kind of crazy because that really is like what a lot of the project, you know, is based around, is like this feeling that like I almost had this like sense of guilt that I was moving forward, you know, or moving on with my life after dedicating so much of myself uh, to someone, you know. And I think like in some way, whether it's a relationship or, you know, just a huge change in your life, like it's a very relatable thing. It's like is guilt, um, which you get over though. You do.
Yeah, and like you said before, you spoke about like what came first while making the song, but do you remember if it was like a specific lyric? Was it like a melody?
Yeah, honestly, you want to know the story?
Yeah.
It's a interesting story. So uh, I was like, I'm like, I don't ever know how personal I want to get with these, but I was like, you know what, let's go. You can hear how Palm Angels was made. So I was with my ex for a long time, like from when I was like 17 to 23, like high school, you know, all that kind of stuff. And our relationship ended very abruptly, and not really my decision. So I just like didn't know what I was doing. Um, which although I felt like I was the only one, you know, who, you know, understood what I was going through, and nobody, like anyone would be like, you know what, I'm just like, shut up. You know, you weren't with this person for that long. You don't understand my situation. And that's what I've realized after this is like, no, we all go through the same things just differently. Um, but so right after that relationship ended, I was touring with Wes, and I think we were invited to do some quick pop up show in New York at some club, and you know I was sure. So I flew out to New York, and when I was in New York at that show, I met somebody, and this was only like 2 weeks after a really long relationship for me had ended. So I kind of uh, I just wasn't. I mean, I just wasn't used to any of that. You know, like I was cuffed forever. I was on like husband duty. I was like a grown man in a little kid body. I'm just kidding. But basically, I just met this girl, and things got like things just got kind of crazy with us. Like in a good way. Like I really liked her. You know, everything, we were having fun, and like I think it was like after like 3 days of knowing her, we got matching tattoos because I'm insane, which I then had to get covered up because my other ex, she didn't like that tattoo. But hey, that's a different story. But yeah, so basically, I just felt so weird. like being with someone new, and it wasn't like I was cheating. It wasn't like I was just moving forward. Um, and I felt bad about it. But I felt bad about something that also felt like right, because this person was making me happy, I was making her happy, and it was just this internal conflict. So I think I wrote that. It must have just been like one morning when I woke up, in New York, like right after that whole situation had happened. Um, but it's just crazy because that was 2 years ago, and looking back and knowing how much I was hurting at that time, and knowing how I thought I was lost. I was about to say knowing I was lost, but I wasn't lost. Because like looking back, I had never been. Like, I don't know. I had never been. I'd never seen things so clearly, and I've grown so much. Like I'm. It sounds crazy, but I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. The amount I've grown and I've changed and I've learned about myself, and I've like almost reinvented myself and redefined what happiness means to me. Because for a long time, I put my happiness in someone else, and I don't think that's a good thing for anybody.
Mhm.
So Palm Angels came at that time in my life when it was just like a whole bunch of emotions, a whole bunch of change, and just somehow like I just knew like I'd be fine. I'd make it out on the other side. I just had to keep going, and that's just really what it was.
Amazing. And I'm interested now. What is the tattoo that you covered it up with?
All right, so there was a tattoo here, but now it's just a Yankees, which
Oh
is
my
sick.
god,
I love the Yankees. Go Yankees. It was not a Yankee tattoo before.
that's so cool. Um, so you also make music with other artists. So what is making music with other artists, Julius, like compared to your music, Julius?
Huh. It's all just me. I
Yeah.
think that's what the coolest part is. Like it's just like I almost feel I almost feel bad sometimes because I feel like it's like writing, and I write so much. Like I write like 5 songs a day. Like I'm absolutely insane. I would go crazy if I didn't just write. So I think like I feel bad because like when I just love to write. So if someone wants to work or send me a song, I'm just like, okay, and I'll write a song in 5, 10 minutes. Like I with the song with Compensate Me for All My Loneliness with Sabrina Lee, she literally texted me that acoustic while I was at dinner. I walked away from the table for 5 minutes and the song was written. We had it done. Um, and the same thing, like my feature with my homie Prentice, the legend, shout out Prentice. He same way, he sent me a song and 5 minutes later, it's just I have to just if I think too much about it, like it's done. I'm not gonna do it. Like you're gonna get a crappy song. Like no one's gonna be happy. And if I don't think about it and it just like happens and it almost feels like it didn't happen, like we got something, like, and I think that's the craziest part is sometimes I just lose myself in this. It's like, I don't need anything else. I just need this, which works. It works because I have it.
Yeah. And what number of songs have you written today?
Oh, I literally woke up maybe an hour and a half ago, and I'm already on my third song, which is like,
Oh my
I
god.
was like, I was like, dude, you just gotta leave and go to Six Flags.
But yet you'd still be like writing on your phone and stuff too.
Yeah, and like when I'm at Six Flags, like I'll be on a ride. I'll probably just like think of a line and have to write it in my notes for later or something like that. Well, because I'll just like as I'm experiencing things, I'll just be like, huh, I'll put that in a song. Like it's just that's just it's to me it reminds me of like writing is just it's essentially just like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like Larry David's just out here living life and just writing it down, and it's the greatest thing. And like if I can just live life and write it down and people like it, like cool, I'm about it.
Yeah, for sure. And could we expect like a bigger project soon? Maybe like a part two of your last like full project?
Yeah, part 2 is actually on the way.
Oh my god.
So Palm Angels is on part 2, which I'm so excited about. And then I think 3 or 4 more songs on part two. And then the entire project, which is 12 Steps to Forgetting Your Ex, is going to be available, which I've put so much into this, I think, more than just like hard work and, blood, sweat, and tears. Like it literally is like, it's my baby. It's an extension of myself. Like it was like I said, like when I went through a rough time, it's what got me through it. And so it's sick, like to always just be able to go back and look at that and like have something I'm genuinely proud of, and like I feel like I gave it my all, and it's a great representation of myself. Um, I can't wait for part two to come out. I really can't. Um, Especially because I'm also working on so much more as it is. Like part two is ready for the world when the world's ready, and after that, I'm not gonna slow down.
Amazing. I can't wait. And especially because like it's literally like a part of your life, like out into the world.
Yeah,
So vulnerable with
yeah. I
your
mean,
music.
I'm just kind of. It's funny. I'm like telling on myself a lot. It's like I'm just like a little snitch, but it's sick because sometimes I need to be told on. Like both to like keep me to keep me straight, but also just to like I'm doing right now, reflect. I'm able to look at Palm Angels and reflect on who I was when I wrote it, where I was in my life, how I was feeling, and I'm able to say like where I am right now is it's incredible. And yeah, it's really just a testament to the fact that like like life happens, shit can get crazy, bad things can happen, bad things will happen, that's life. But it's just about like it's about understanding like that you have the ability to grow and to get better, and like you like I was so fortunate to be surrounded by such amazing people in my life, from David and Mikey to like my family to my brothers. Like the people in my life were able to open my eyes to that fact as well, because sometimes I think it may feel as if things won't get better. And I think we've all been there in a sense. It's like, or we wonder like how will they get better? And we just have to remember like we will make it happen. Like you just have to like put your mind on this goal, because where I was 2 years ago mentally, I was not like I wouldn't, if I was telling you what I'm saying 2 years ago, I would have been like, shut up, you're an idiot. Like, so being where I am, being able to reflect, I think that's the coolest part, and that's what's so amazing about everything that I'm doing. Is just, I guess I am growing up.
Yeah. And this is a fun question. If you could describe your music as a TV show character, which one would it be and why?
Oh, sick! It has to be Larry David. For the reason before, because not only is he my idol, but it's because he's just so like brutally honest, and he does it with comedy, which I think is amazing. It's probably like it's just, I think, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna like say I'm Larry David, but I'm basically Larry David.
Amazing. I love it. And last question, who are your favorite artists at the moment, or who do you want to shout out?
I listen to a lot of just like Mac Miller, Frank Ocean. Those are my huge inspirations. Um, but shout out Young Thug. Shout out Young Thug and Future. Those are really my idols. My Toxic Kings help me get through the day, help me make really bad decisions. So shout out my boys.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. It was so much fun talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is dope.